guy you mob.
Snap back, spot down. The kick is blocked. This could be 2 points if he goes all the way. He's to midfield. Nobody to beat. This will be 2 for Minnesota. Miller Moss with a handoff and another big gain, and the ball popped loose, and it's still fumbling back there, and it is maybe picked up. Let's see who has it. Minnesota.
Welcome to Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck on the Gopher Sports Network from Learfield.
To the 10, to the 5, touchdown, pick 6.
Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck is presented by True North Family of Companies. Visit thetruenorthfamily.com. Also brought to you by Cub, the official grocer of Gopher Athletics. And by Tipsy Steer and High Pines, located at County Road C in Snelling. Proud sponsor of Gopher football.
Here we go.
Now, here's the voice of the Gophers, Mike Grimm.
And we're off and running here at the Tipsy Steer and High Pines in Roseville. A great crowd, as you can hear in the background. We're glad to have you along the Gopher Sports Network. I am Mike Grimm. Justin Gard is off. He's got women's basketball duties today. He's at their shoot-around today. They've got a game tonight against North Dakota, so he's got some things to tape and take care of there. So it's a three-man crew up here, though, as we have gone to from the last couple of years on these bye weeks with no game this Saturday. We give head coach PJ Fleck the week off from the show, and we bring 2 players out. And back for a return visit. He had so much fun the first time. Quarterback Drake Lindsay, ladies and gentlemen, is here again. The rumor was once it was, we need to find 2 guys to come. You were volunteering. You had so much fun the last time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And his first time visit here at the Tipsy Steer, let's give a round of applause to safety Coy Parrish. All right, so we're ready to roll off of an overtime win, 23-20 over the Michigan State Spartans, and a lot certainly to talk about. First of all, just Drake, we'll start with you. How good did it feel to get the win after there were some turns and twists in that game?
Yeah, obviously it felt really good at the end. We got to do a better, job, starting fast, and the defense played a great game. We got to help them out more, but ultimately, that was a culture win, and when it comes down to it, our playmakers make plays in critical situations, and we just got to, that final drive, that 2-minute drive, we got to implement that the whole game and attempt to execute like that.
What was it about for you as a quarterback on that final drive that allowed you to maybe rise to the occasion? Because they had some success kind of trying to shut the offense down a little bit after halftime.
Yeah, I think when you get in the 2-minute situation, you're obviously running your base plays that you're really good at, and they have to do their base coverages. That's their day one install, and that's kind of what Harbaugh told me before the game, because that's the last thing he does is watch 2-minute and tell me the plays that he's thinking if we get in that situation. Tell me what coverages they're running. Obviously, I've already seen it, but when you get in that mindset where it's just you're getting up tempo, you're snapping the ball, making your protection call, and seeing the coverage really quick, you got to make decisive decisions and be really on point. And I think when you get in that situation, you're not thinking much, you're just going. So, and you obviously know the base look, so it was a good drive.
Yeah, it was a do or die drive. If you don't score there, the game ends up on the wrong end of the win-loss column. And we'll talk more about everything involving that drive, but you get the touchdown. Mm-hmm. Was there any part of you that was hoping 2-point conversion and end it right there? Or did you say, let's get to overtime and we'll win it there?
I thought about it, but I thought we were doing a really good job executing up into that drive, and I thought Coach Fleck would kick the extra point to get us into overtime, and glad he did, because we didn't have to see the 2-point conversion, obviously. So.
Yeah, no doubt. And then once you scored, there was still a little time. You scored too soon, right? It was too early. No, you guys, you left a little time, and Coy Parrish and the gang then was able to get the stop to ensure overtime. Coy, what were you watching from the sideline as Drake was leading the team down there to send the game to overtime? What was your emotion down there?
All I really remember is Drake stiff arming that guy. But other than that, I'm happy we won that game. That's clear. Obviously, Drake's clutch in the end and led us to victory.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That stiff arm came in the overtime, which we'll talk about as well. Take me through, Coy, defensively. You guys had 6 sacks in that first half. You guys were all over the place, pitched the shutout. They kind of had that weird play where a couple of guys, tripped or hit each other on the long touchdown to kind of give them some new life. Walk me through defensively what you thought of the game, and obviously you want to win the game. You did win the game, but defensively assess the Gophers. Gophers on Saturday?
I think us as a defense, we came out pretty fast. I think we got a couple stops right away, and with 7 sacks, I think, in the whole game.
Yeah,
and then 6 in the first half. We're getting home. The coverage, we could obviously be better and be a little more sticky to them, and then we all got to do it together. And I think in the second half, they started getting these big plays, and that's the only thing that we really gave up. We gave up like 201 yards on 3 plays, and you can't really have that. 460 yards of offense. We just got to play better as a whole, but proud that we got the win.
Yeah,
keep going.
Obviously, you want to limit the explosives. You mentioned the three that they had, but at the end of the day, you recover, and to win games, you have to make game-winning plays. So, talk us through once Drake scored to tie it, and then you guys had to keep them out of field goal range and get the stop. What was the mindset heading back to the field there? And I forget, what was there, 20-ish seconds maybe, or 30? I can't remember now. But what was the mindset heading out there to make sure the game got to OT?
Make sure you keep everything in front of you. Don't let anybody get behind you. We're in a 3 deep safety look, so just make sure none of the wideouts get behind. Tackle everything that's in front of you. Don't let them get out of bounds.
So then it gets to overtime, and the Gophers win the toss. And you normally, almost always, you want to go second because then you know what you need in the bottom half. And you guys were able to force the field goal. So what was the mindset going into that overtime to know if you can hold them? Obviously, you'd love to hold them to nothing, but if you get them to a field goal, then that gives you the opportunity to win it. So what was, when you guys headed out there, what was the thought and the discussion in that huddle?
Yeah, it was our first overtime as a team in my college career too, in the last 2 years. So we got a lot of time to prepare. We knew we just went over what we were going over in the game plan, and we were all talking together in the huddle, D-line. We're all together as one unit. And then just go out and make a stop the first possession. I think they get 6 yards, and then we get a stop for negative even gain on second. And then ultimately they picked up that flag.
That was good. That was good.
That was great.
Yeah, and then you get the stop on a third down to force the field goal.
Yeah.
And then you hand it over to the offense's hands. And from that standpoint, now Drake, the defense did its job, and so now it's they hand it to you and on the serving tray to go try to win it. So what's the offense's mindset? And by the way, Coy mentioned it was their first overtime game as a team in his 2 years here. Believe it or not, and maybe some of you read this or heard us talking about it on the radio, that was the first overtime game in the history of that stadium. The Gophers at home in Huntington Bank and TCF Bank had never played in 16 years. They had never played an overtime game there, which is hard to believe. We had to double check the numbers on that. The Vikings played 2 overtime games there when they called that stadium home for the 2 seasons. They had 2 overtime games there, but there was never a Gopher overtime game. So you guys hadn't experienced overtime. You get the stop in the top of the first overtime, and now it's a chance for offensively you guys to go take the game.
Yeah, I think going into that, when we won the toss, obviously defense. You're praying they get a stop, and I had all the confidence in the world. And then when they force them to a field goal, obviously you're hoping they miss. But then when they make it, it's like, all right, let's go win the game. That's kind of my mindset entering the huddle. Giving everybody confidence that they're going to go make a play to win the game, no matter who it is. Someone's going to go make the play. And then we had that third down that LeMahieu ran a great route, drew the flag, got us down to the 4-yard line, which was ultimately huge because at that point, the ball is the number one thing. Make sure you're getting the quarterback center exchange, getting it to the running back carefully, and then letting the running back, making sure he knows the ball, because you obviously can't turn the ball over there. But knowing we're in field goal range, obviously at a chip for Brady, and then get to the third down, and Harbaugh told me to keep it. I think it would have been a little cleaner if I had a good fake, but I kind of rushed it. But then that guy was out there, and I just knew I had to make a miss. And then obviously didn't want to extend the ball across the pylon because something happens and it rolls out of the back and I fumble, then the game's over right there. So maybe just do a little better job diving in the end zone, make it a little cleaner. But that's about it.
And they did end up reviewing the play. So what's going through your mind? I mean, and that's a tough thing in sports, right? You guys, all 100 of you guys are in that corner celebrating. Guys are throwing helmets. It's a nice emotional win. And then all of a sudden you hear the scoring play is under review. Ruling on the field touchdown, it's under review. Now what goes through your mind?
Yeah, I didn't even notice my toe obviously stepped out of bounds. I thought I was in pretty clean. And then when I watched the replay, I was like, oh, it's pretty close. Yeah. So obviously I was hoping, I was like, all right, just be a touchdown. Ultimately, I knew we were at like the inch line if they didn't call it a touchdown. So, I mean, we would have probably just put two big guys behind me or something, and QB sneaked it and got in there either way. But, I mean, I'm glad we didn't have to see that.
Yeah, and I think the review was right, too, because there was never the clear line. Your foot was out, but that does, I think a lot of people misinterpreted, well, his foot's out of bounds, it's not a touchdown. But if the ball is ahead of that mark, which it was, if it's over the goal line when you step out, it's a touchdown. And I think if I had to bet, the safety of everyone in this room's on it, I would say you crossed it, but there was never a definitive thing that said you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was just really bang bang, like right when my right, it was chinned, and then right when the tip of the ball hit the white, my foot went out of bounds. So it was like it happened right at the same time, where it's like you can't really overturn it. It's one of those things, I feel like.
Agreed. All right, well, let's take our first break here. We'll come back. We'll talk more about the big win over Michigan State. We'll find out what these guys get to do during their bye week. They had a bit of a walk-through practice today. We'll get the details on that, and then take a brief look ahead later on in the hour as well to a Friday night game next week against Oregon. We want to thank alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors. They're part of the True North family of companies, and they should be on your team roster. If you're selling a business, you can get your no-cost confidential business valuation today. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com, and they have their table in the corner. Thank you for your great support of Gopher Athletics and Gopher Football. We have Drake Lindsay and Coy Parrish with us. Stay with us. It's Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck from Learfield.
Golden Gopher Women's Hockey is playing at 3M Arena at Mariucci on Friday, November 14th at noon for Field Trip Day presented by Quick Trip. Help us cheer on the Gophers against Bemidji State and get your tickets now at gophersports.com.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Visit the University of Minnesota Bookstore, your destination for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts, and novelties for fans of all ages. From the latest styles to timeless favorites, it's your one-stop shop for all things Gophers. And when you shop here, you're giving back because every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Stop by our campus location or shop anytime online at bookstores.umn.edu. Go Gophers!
Know what happy is? Veggies. Crunchy, crispy, colorful, seasonal, aromatic, juicy veggies. Produce at its freshest. Cub produce. Best produce, period. Guaranteed to make you happy or we'll replace it. No questions asked. Because good produce makes veggie lovers happy. Just remember, fresh, happy. Stale, limp, and wilted, not happy. You want to make a veggie lover happy? Shop Cub for produce. And shop happy.
Spring cleaning is as easy as buy, fill, gone with a Bagster bag from Waste Management. Clear the clutter and ditch your debris. Bagster bags are the flexible option for big cleanups, and we mean flexible. The Bagster folds neatly when not in use, yet holds 3,000 pounds of waste and debris. Buy from a retailer today, fill it, and easily schedule pickup when your projects are complete. To learn more, visit thebagster.com.
The human heart. It doesn't take days off, or hours, minutes, or seconds for that matter. It just keeps beating in steadfast, unrelenting service to each of us. So when your heart needs medical care, doesn't it deserve the most advanced treatments available, delivered by nationally recognized physicians and surgeons? Show your heart some love. Take it to M Health Fairview. Visit mhealthfairview.org/heartcare to learn more.
Are you looking for concert or sports tickets? As a local Minnesota company, Ticket King is a company you can trust. They have seats to fit every budget and even offer parking or tailgating passes, and all tickets are guaranteed. Each order is personally attended to by one of our dedicated customer service representatives who are committed to providing you with a courteous, professional, quick, convenient experience. Visit us at ticketkingonline.com or call us directly at 612-341-4131.
Gopher fans, check out the spot for Gopher Weekly with PJ Fleck. The Tipsy Steer in High Pines in Roseville is a great place to watch the games with a large outdoor space to eat, drink, and hang out with your friends. Check this place out. Locally owned refreshing beverages and food sourced from area farmers, serving on menu favorites like bacon lollipops and armadillo eggs. The sassy menu also features brick oven pizzas and acclaimed burgers. Tipsy Steer in High Pines in Roseville, County Road C and Snelling in Roseville, or online at tipsysteer.com. Go Gophers!
The game against Rutgers on September 27th recognized the 13th annual Celebrate Ag and Food Day at Huntington Bank Stadium. Both the game broadcast and the presentation inside the stadium celebrated the tireless efforts in the agriculture industry. The Gophers would like to thank the following participating sponsors: Ag Country Farm Credit, Minnesota Biofuels Association, Minnesota Corn Growers Association, Minnesota Pork Board, and the University of Minnesota's College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences for their continued support.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with the new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
Big Ten Conference play is back at 3M Arena at Mariucci. Join us as Gopher men's hockey takes on Notre Dame on November 7th and 8th. Get your tickets now at gophersports.com.
It's time now for the AVR Remix on Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck. AVR, a McNamara company. Quality and service delivered.
17-10 Michigan State the lead. Quarterback sneak Lindsey barrels his way close to the goal line. Clock continues to wind. Touchdown! Touchdown Minnesota. And the extra point unit is coming on to tie the game. Now an I formation from the 3. Bierman, the fullback. In motion, Bibber. There is play action. Rolling left, Lindsey. He's got room to the 5. He is in! Touchdown! And that's a winner! Lindsey on the bootleg.
Yeah, there it is, the AVR Remix. Drake Lindsey, back-to-back touchdowns, a sneak and a bootleg, and the Gophers get the win. So I want to ask you about both those plays. Let's start with the game winner first. We talked a little bit about it, but you said that Harbaugh told you to keep it. Did the rest of the team also know that, or did you blindly call the play thinking they were blocking for Femi to score a touchdown?
Yeah, no one else knew it. So I was saying that he said the play in my helmet, and I was saying it to the offense, and then he was talking to the coaches, and I guess he accidentally hit the button, and he said, I'm going to tell him to keep it. And I was finishing the play call, and I was like, ready, break, and I was like, oh, here we go. I'd never done it before, never even attempted practice, anything, so I was like, all right, we got to go make a play. And then I saw that dude just hanging out over there. I kept looking at him, and no one knew. And then I didn't have a great fake, which I think would have ultimately helped me, kind of been like Peyton Manning, where he just walked in.
Pulled the ball up.
Cameras on the running back. But didn't work out like that. The guy was hanging out and just had to, do something. And then just stiff-armed him, and then it was just a race to the pylon.
Yeah, and you won the foot race there. So what's and maybe you don't want to tell, what's the play call itself? I think PJ mentioned the post-game, something power or something like that.
Yeah, it's just 34 blast.
34 blast. Yeah. So you call 34 blast. Everyone on the team that's out there is thinking that's going to be a handoff, except the guy who keeps it and scores.
Yeah, and then he told me again to keep it because it cuts out at 15.
Yeah.
And he had set it at 6. He had set it like 20, and then he told me he's like, hey, keep it here, and it hit 15, and then he cut out, and I was like, I already kind of knew, but it was a funny story after, because like I'm breaking the huddle, and he said it to the coaches and actually beat me in. So I was like, oh God.
Yeah, and the rest is history. We had a person here in attendance that came over. Do you think you'd have gone for it? You mentioned you might have sneak, because you can kick and go to a second overtime, or if it's overruled, or if you don't make it and you get it, you're down there by a yard or whatever. Do you think you'd have gone? Do you think PJ would have gone for it?
Yeah, I think we would have, just because it was too close not to. If it was from like the 1 or the 2, probably not. Like if I would have got tackled at like the 3-yard line, 2-yard line, probably not. But with being like at the inch, I think we're getting a QB sneak just by getting pushed even a little bit. Ultimately, so I think so.
Didn't have to worry about it.
No.
Now the quarterback sneak, that was from like 2 yards out. That wasn't a normal, like as you mentioned, inside the 1 or whatever. So walk us through that play call. And was that on your own, or was that always a quarterback sneak from there? It's almost 3 yards out.
No, it wasn't either. That was the same play as well. And then Harbaugh had beeped in again in my helmet and said, make a check to the center, Ashton Beers. So I just said the certain thing to him that tells him that me and him are aligned, because there was an open A gap because the guy was in a 3 technique. So he just went the other way, and I went right at that gap. And then Greg Johnson heard it too, because he was a center last year. So ultimately he knew to not go left when he was supposed to. So he went right, and then I just had to, that guy was meeting me right in the hole, and I just went under him a little bit. But no, that wasn't a called one either.
Wow. So pretty clutch plays there to get that game tied and then get that game won. And I always, like the kind of behind the scenes stuff. We're getting the inside scoop here from the quarterback who scored those 2 touchdowns as to how it unfolds. And I think for folks who don't fully understand, this is is it 2 now of the in-helmet communication? Maybe
year 2.
Yeah.
Year 2.
So what happens? Why don't you take us through what happens without going into too much detail in terms of like specific plays? I don't think PJ would like us to discuss that, but how that process works with you and Greg Harbaugh.
Yeah. So the first thing he does right after the play ends is give me the personnel for the players that are supposed to be in there. So we have a coach on the sideline that's signaling it for the people that are on the sideline and saying it out loud so those guys can come in, and I have to make sure I'm screaming it. So if you see fingers up in the air, that's usually what I'm doing after the play, is letting them know the personnel, and I'm screaming it so they can get in and out of the huddle, or getting in and out, because we have some really wordy play calls. So obviously we want to get in and out of the huddle very quick so I can get the look, and then ultimately get us in the right look so we can be as a successful offense as we can.
And then he can talk to you if you guys break the huddle, or sometimes you're in no huddle and you're right up there. Let's say there's 24 seconds left on the play clock, not the game clock, but the 40-second clock. He still can chat with you while you're looking over the defense as well. And how often does he do that? And what kind of things might he be helping you with there as well?
So when it hits 15, he cuts out. So I've had a few instances where we're breaking the huddle and he's finishing saying the play call, and right before he finishes it, he cuts out. And then I kind of remembered throughout game planning what the final part was, because there's only obviously so many things it could have been with the first tagged concept. But yeah, when we do Indy, he's usually if they're not lined up, he usually lets me get set because he wants me to be able to make the right protection call, see what they're in on defense. But he talks a little bit. I feel like at Cal Berkeley, he talked a good amount to me during those situations. But he's kind of simmered down. But there's definitely times when he's like, hey, you're about to get this, and then he's spot on. But it doesn't happen too much, but he's definitely in there talking to me. He's like, hey, you're seeing it right. It's usually mostly on the sideline with the player phone, I would say, is when he's really talking to me.
Yeah, and so that would be when you guys are done, and then Coy and the gang goes out there, that gives you a chance, and it's actually literally a phone, right?
Yeah,
it's like the old school phone.
Yeah.
And he's up there and you're down there, and then you share info as well.
Yep.
How about the tablets? How much does that help? Are the iPads, Microsoft, or whatever they are? What do you guys do with those?
Yeah, those are huge, because when you get to the sideline, there's been a lot of instances when you plan for the defense doing specific things, but obviously you're planning on the pass. They're going to add something new. They're not going to do the exact same thing they did the game before. So when you get to the sideline after the first drive, what they come out in the first couple plays is usually what the defense is going to do for that day. There's going to be some mix-ups, but that's their base thing. They came in, we're going to do this to establish it. And seeing that, it's really helpful, because then you're like, all right, we got to attack them maybe a different way than we thought. or they did exactly what we thought, and we just got to keep going and then expect something to be thrown at you that you maybe haven't seen, but don't be thrown off guard.
Yeah, very good. Well, I think we've talked long enough. Coy has his lunch done now, so we can start asking him questions over there. I'm just kidding you. I'm just teasing you a little bit here. But as all of that is happening defensively, who usually is the guy that Danny Collins is talking to set plays and those kind of things?
Maverick Baranowski, he's got the green dot. He does a really good job. He does all our checks from anything the offense does. He does a really good job, gets the communication out. And we don't really have a lot of communication issues, but obviously we need to be better. And we had a couple this last game. We just need to be better.
And once the play call then comes in, obviously you don't want to give away how it happens, but then it just communicated to everybody, and hand signals often and verbally too, I suppose.
Yeah, so Mav gets it through the green dot. Like, he can use his voice when he's on the field, but we also have a signal caller or wristbands to get the play call in, and ultimately you can get it through one of those three.
Yeah,
you have to make your checks from there.
If and you mentioned when you have a miscommunication out there, how does the correction happen in game? Then you go to the side. Sometimes it might be in the middle of a drive, and you might have to wait, or you might have to in game or in drive correct it. But talk me through how that communication goes to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Yeah, the iPads have definitely changed the game. Obviously, I've never been in college without them, but Danny Collins said, it's crazy how much he can actually adapt throughout the game and throughout the game plan. Just what Drake said with seeing what they were doing. I think they're very beneficial. You can see your mistakes, also see what you're doing well, and see how they're going to attack you later on in the game.
Have you noticed this year for you, with the great year you had last year, I think PJ even mentioned maybe a couple of weeks ago that teams will game plan because they know you're such a good player that they will try to create action that will avoid getting the ball into your area. So take me through if you've noticed that and how you try to combat that to still be a factor, because you're amongst the team leaders in tackles. Obviously, you had the big pick 6 against Purdue. You're impacting the game every play. But have you noticed that? And if so, how do you try to continue to show up in games and have the impact you've had?
Throughout the game, I don't really try to focus on that. I just try to run to the ball. If it comes my way or on the opposite side of the field, I'm not really keeping track inside of my head if they're going to me or not. Ultimately, just do your job at the end of the day. Your job is 1 out of 11 on the field.
And when it ends up in your neighborhood, then you got to make the play, right?
Got to make the play.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to take another break. We're at the bottom of the hour. You can stay with us here on the radio. If you're here in the restaurant, we'll remind you we have our gift card giveaway, the University of Minnesota Bookstore. We'll give that away during our next commercial break. It's one of the benefits of being in person here at the store or at the restaurant. You can come up and put your name in the hopper. It's right here as I'm pointing to it. And you can also, in person, visit the University of Minnesota Bookstore for the area's largest selection of U of M and Golden Gopher apparel, gifts and novelties for fans of all ages, from the latest styles to timeless favorites. It is your one-stop shop, and every purchase directly supports the University of Minnesota. Shop in-store on campus or online. Here's where to go: bookstores.umn.edu. Sign up is open. We'll draw next break. Stay with us. It's Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck from Learfield. Welcome back. Gopher Football Weekly here on the Gopher Sports Network. Mike Grimm with you. JG is off today. Well, he's off from the show. He's got women's basketball tonight. He's over at their shoot-around here taping some stuff for the show and the broadcast this evening. Also, hard to believe, just one home game left, Gopher fans, and don't miss out on the Gopher Garden. That's the pregame Fan Fest. It's presented by Huntington Bank, located on Oak Street outside the stadium. Gopher Garden opens 3 hours before every home game. You can catch the Gopher Football pregame show with JG. You can enjoy the Pride of Minnesota Marching Band's pregame concert and all the excitement leading up to kickoff. The Gopher Garden presented by Huntington Bank. A couple of other quick program notes before we get back to it here with Drake Lindsay and Coy Parrish. Next week's show, we have an interesting schedule. So we will be here at the restaurant, but because it's a Friday game and the football staff, and we've always talked with PJ and teased him a little about it, they stay on their day. So a Friday game is still a Saturday to them. So next week for them, Monday Monday is Tuesday, if that makes sense. So here's how we're going to do this next week. It'll be like a game show. We'll have a live studio audience on Monday. So come watch the show in person on Monday, noon to 1, right here. Coach will be back, and we'll preview the Oregon game. We'll talk about the bye week. And the show will actually air on its normal time on Tuesday. So it's a taping of the show. It's like The Price is Right or something. So come on out, live studio audience on Monday, noon to 1. And then you can, and you know what's fun is you can come and you get it twice. You can come and watch it in person, and then the next day you can listen from noon to 1. So that is next week. It's back here, but it's Monday because that is really Tuesday on the football calendar, right? You guys stay on the same day no matter what. And it is a Friday kickoff next week. No game this week. We have Drake Lindsay and Coy Parrish. And I mentioned that we were going to ask you about the bye week. So a walk through today. How important at this point of the season for you, Drake, has the bye week been, just to maybe recuperate, refresh a little bit, get your mind restocked? Talk about that a little bit.
I think it's very critical because you don't really understand what a 6-week stretch of the Big Ten's like till you really play in it. And it's week after week after week after week. No matter if it's Ohio State or Michigan State or whoever it is, everyone's there to win. So you got to bring it every single week, but it definitely feels great, getting a few days to rest my mind, rest my body, for the whole team, getting ourselves back and, ready to go to Oregon.
Yeah, and Coy, for you, now you're, if Drake's guys up front do their job, he's not taking a lot of hard, violent hits. You hope not. Obviously, he had, a couple of runs, sneaks and stuff, but when you're defensively like you and you play the way you do, you're throwing your body around and trying to deliver some violence out there on the field, of course. So how important has this been for you guys, particularly on defense, just to kind of to rest and recuperate?
Yeah, for us on defense, it's just crucial for us. We need a lot more time for all our injuries, just to get back. And we have a lot of injuries, and I'm not gonna speak on them, but we just need this time to just get healthy, and it's gonna be a good week for us.
From a purely taking care of your body standpoint, can you kind of put us in your mind for a minute? What's a week like, whether it's bye week or not, in terms of making sure your body's ready and rested? And I don't know if you do it, but a lot of the guys will do cold baths, hot baths. They've got the little gun things that massage the muscles, and chiropractors sometimes come around. For you, how do you make sure that you're maintaining your body well enough to hit the field every Saturday?
Yeah, you just have to get it into a routine. Like, I have a good routine. Obviously, we have our meetings right after the game, but on Mondays, it's our off day. So you get in there, you get 2 hours of treatment, whether that's hot tubs, cold tubs, the sauna, get some mobility in the water pool, or any of that. Just moving around, getting your legs back. That's just the biggest thing. You got to stick in a good routine. And our coaches really do a good job of that, especially our strength coaches. I think they're some of the best in the country, and they really help us in that.
And Drake, you were telling me before we came on the air, this is during the season, not just a bye week, that the amount that a player on the team will lift depends almost directly on how much they play, and if they're not playing that much, they want to develop for next year, and they'll lift more during the season, because lifting, while it has a lot of benefits during the season, you also don't want to, I suppose, wear the body out and put the muscles in too much strain. So talk us through kind of how that works.
Yeah, so for obviously the guys that are like playing and starting, you're a 2-day lifter, so you lift Sundays and Wednesdays. Sundays are your more heavy day because it's after the day we're squatting and stuff like that, getting our legs back, flushing everything out. And then Wednesdays is, keeping everything right. I think it's more of a maintaining thing, because obviously you can't gain too much strength in the season. It's more maintaining your body, making sure you're staying flexible, making sure you're getting all the right stuff. And then for the freshmen or people that, aren't necessarily playing, will be on like the 4-day card, where it's more so off season for them, so they can keep building and keep getting better, so we can keep developing.
Yeah, and get stronger and faster. And in terms of speed, obviously, with the blazing speed you had on that touchdown, how much is that weight room helping you for that?
Yeah, I think it's helping me a lot. Yeah, I think I've gotten a little quicker since I've gotten here on campus, obviously. I want to keep developing that and keep working on things this offseason, whether it's balance or just different things, so I can continue to, get better and help the team.
Yeah, because you have some athletic ability, so a step quicker can make the difference
difference, right?
Yeah,
so you keep working on it, no doubt. Speaking of athleticism, Coy, I did want to say when Drake was here the first time around, he was, I will say, bragging a little bit about how he was kicking your butt on the golf course all summer. So I'll give you now a chance for the first time to defend yourself in that array of comments.
Not much to comment on that. Well, Drake's been playing golf a lot longer than me.
Yeah.
He's been playing for since he's been 2. Sure. He went to the World Amateur Golf Championship.
And played in it.
And and choked, but.
Here it comes. Now we're going. Now we got a good show. Now we're getting spicy here a little bit. So you played in the World Amateur. How old were you?
It was the U.S. Kids World Championship in Pinehurst, North Carolina. I was 10 or 11 years old. And I remember after the first, I shot a 72 or 3 the first day. And I was in 6th place. And then I'm teeing off with all these dudes, and the leader shot 6 under at 10 years old, and I'm these kids are he was from Japan or something. And then first tee shot, I'm up there, and all the start, the last group's right behind me. First drive on the second day on a par 5 hits the left side of the cart path and kicks out of bounds. And then I ended up hit it in the water and then 4-putting and made a 10 on the first hole. And I was good Lord. And then I went even through the next 16 and then made another 10 on the 18 and shot a 84 with 2 10s. And I was so hurt. I went from 6th place to 45th, and it was a pretty brutal day for me that day.
Yeah. So when did you start golfing?
I grew up on a golf course, so my dad was always out there golfing. I would say 3 years old. It was the first time I put a club in my hand. 2 years old, but I really started golfing when I was 5 or 6.
Yeah. If I would have asked, let's say 13 or 14-year-old Drake Lindsay and said, hey, you're going to be a college athlete, what sport do you think it'd be? Would have been golf or football?
I think when you asked me if I was 13 or 14, it probably would have been golf. I feel once I got to 13, 14, I started transitioning a little bit to football. But if you would ask me when I was 10 or 11, I would have told you I was going to win a green jacket for sure.
What's a normal round now for you if you play well?
Once I get into the groove, I think the best score I shot this year was 75 or 74 or 5, but it takes a little bit. The beginning of the year, I'm usually shooting 85 to 88, and then as I start playing in the summer, and that's when Coy thought he could hang with me at the beginning because he was shooting 87 and I'm shooting 86. He's I'm going to get you by the end of the year, and then I just kept getting better, and he was slowly getting better because he's only been playing for 3 years. But Coy's got a bright future in golf. He's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, and talk about that. You're a naturally gifted athlete as well, Coy. You come to the golf game a little bit late, but have you found a lot of enjoyment in what golf can bring, when you can take a break from the football field?
Yeah, golf is super fun, especially golfing without Drake. Me and my teammate Emmett say we just play so much better playing without Drake because we're not.
You got to tell him why, though. It's you got to tell him why.
I don't got to tell him why.
Are you going to tell us why, Drake?
Yeah, so usually, I'm usually hitting first. I like to play the intimidation card with Coy. I think I told you all the Vegas story when we weren't talking about the score really, and then got the hole 8, and I was like, Coy, we're tied. And then I go birdie, and he doubles, and it's already a 3-shot swing or 4-shot swing. But it's usually just he hits a bad shot, and I'm like, Coy, what was that? After I hit one on the green, and you just got to get in his head like that.
So you've just decided you're not going to include Drake in his mini golf games.
That is true.
The good news too is when you're a part, and this is PJ's talked about this and getting recruits here and the value of the Twin Cities and all that. You guys, because of your position on the Gopher football team, you guys get to play some pretty good courses on occasion, right? You've got now it's all legal. The alums can take you to their courses, or you guys can get on someplace else. What were your favorite courses you played here in the summer? Coy, let's start with you.
What was a good course? I know we got to the White Bear Yacht Club.
Yeah. Nice.
That one was fun. Definitely Rush Creek. Rush Creek was my #1 course this year. probably one of the best public courses in Minnesota.
Yeah. That's Randy Shaver has his charity golf outing out there, and that is, I love that course as well. How about you, Drake? Any course that stands out?
Yeah, we played this course that the Vikings go to a lot. I forgot where it's at. It's like 30 minutes away, but remember me and you played it?
Stone Ridge.
Stone Ridge. That was really nice. Coach Harbaugh took all the quarterbacks out to Hazeltine right before fall camp, which was obviously a dream come true. That course was beautiful.
That's a long, hard course.
Oh my God, it was brutal course. And then I played with Coy a lot at Rush Creek. But yeah, we went to Oklahoma. Well, when we went to Arkansas, in May, we went to this course in Oklahoma that was super, super nice. It was called the Patriot, and they have like professional tournaments there, and it was really cool too.
Yeah, well, very good. That's a golf talk here on the Gopher Radio Network. We had to bring that up. We'll come back. We will look more at the bye week. We'll look at next week as well with the Friday game, and we will wrap up the show. We've got one more segment, so don't go away. We're at the Tipsy Steer in High Pines, which, by the way, how about they're ready for Christmas already? They've got the Christmas tree out. The lights are up. They are in a festive mood here at the Tipsy Steer and High Pines. Stay with us. It's Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck from Learfield.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
The game against Rutgers on September 27th recognized the 13th annual Celebrate Ag and Food Day at Huntington Bank Stadium. Both the game broadcast and the presentation inside the stadium celebrated the tireless efforts in the agriculture industry. Gopher fans, we can all be proud of the continued efforts, results, and the talented people that work in these industries to provide a sustainable food supply with so many changing variables. The Gophers would like to thank the presenting sponsors of this event: CHS, Compeer Financial, Undeniably Dairy, and Beck's.
Gopher fans, when you want to get around Gold Country safely, securely, and on time, call Carey Minneapolis St. Paul. Carey Limousines, a global leader in business travel, offering a world-class fleet and reservation staff who make sure you arrive on time, every time. The team's available 24/7, so give them a call whenever you're ready to travel. 612-623-0565, or visit the webpage, CareyMPLS.com. And go Gophers!
I'm Clay Geary, former wide receiver for the Minnesota Gophers.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we are part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at True North Mergers and Acquisitions, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit thetruenorthfamily.com.
For Football Weekly with PJ Fleck, Mike Grimm with you. JG has women's hoops tonight. He's getting ready for that. We have Coy Parrish and Drake Lindsay with us here to wrap up the show. We talked about what happens during the bye week. Oregon is the next opponent, guys, so I'm wondering, Oregon does play this week. They have a Saturday game at Iowa, so does that entice you to pay closer attention to that one now that you have a Saturday off?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely watch that game to, just get a feel for what they do. Obviously, we'll watch some stuff before, but it's always good to watch it from that perspective, and I'm excited to see that game. I think it should be a really good game at Kinnick.
Yeah, that was, as you know, you mentioned that was a tough place to play. Yep. The bounce-back factor, though, for you to come back and get the win last week, what do you think you took from 2 weeks ago into last week?
Yeah, I think it was a very challenging game. It's obviously a game you don't want to happen to yourself, and you don't think it will, but when it does, it's, what are you going to do to make sure that doesn't happen the next game, and don't let it pound on top of another, and just execute and play at a high level. I think you got to look at it from a mature lens and see what you can do better for the team, and see what we need to do better to make sure we can win the next one. And obviously we didn't play our best against Michigan State, but ultimately we showed up when it mattered and came out with a win. Yeah,
got the W to get to 6 and get to bowl eligibility, and now the rest of the month in front of you to try to tackle some more things. And you've got a fun month. You've got Wisconsin to end behind it, trying to keep Paul Bunyan's actually got a game on a baseball field, a legendary baseball field in Chicago. And then Coy Parrish on Friday night next week. You've got Oregon, currently ranked 6th in the country. And I suppose that's kind of, Coy, what college football is all about. You get a chance to show up on primetime Friday night football and shock the world, right, out in Eugene next week.
Yeah, we go back to the West Coast, so that should be a good time. I've never been to Oregon either. I've only ever been to Washington, so another place, more scenery.
Yeah.
Just go have a good time.
Will you also watch the game, you think, Saturday?
For sure.
Yeah, and what, as a player now, knowing that's your next opponent, what kind of things do you watch? Do you watch it? I'm sure you're watching not just as a, hey, that's a good game, let's watch it. There's some business to be had, right, watching?
Yeah, there's obviously, you can't really pick up on, you can try to pick up on tendencies, but you need the coach's film to really do
all
that.
22 or whatever, yeah.
All the different angles, but you just get to watch, see how they call it, see how their personality is, and just see how they play. And to me, it's Oregon, they're a really good team, and we're going to go have a good time.
Esco, Minnesota. The Esco Army comes down every Saturday to watch you guys play. What's it meant for you to be able to stay in your home state and play college football here and have your hometown behind you the way it's been?
Yeah, I love Minnesota, man. I grew up here my whole life. I've never left, so I've enjoyed it. Obviously, it's getting a little cold here now, so it gets the more darker times of the state. But
go ahead.
It's awesome.
What? So, if folks wanted to come and visit Esco, what would you recommend they do? Is there a statue yet outside of Coy Parrish? No.
Esco's just Esco. If you want to go there, you can go figure it out.
Well, how about Fayetteville, Arkansas? If someone went to visit that place, that's your hometown, of course, Drake. We talked about your path here from Arkansas, and by the way, for all my life, I've called that Fayetteville, but it's Fayetteville.
Yeah, Fayetteville. Yep.
So, what? Tell us about your home city.
There's like 100,000 people, so I think it's kind of a perfect little town. You know, not too big, not too small. Got a good mix of everything. Got some really good steakhouses down there. Herman's is really, really good. Doe's is good on Dixon Street. And then growing up in a college town, I think is really cool, especially in SEC. You know, you don't get a lot of opportunities at that, so I think it was a really cool place to grow up. And I mean, I loved it. I think Arkansas is a really cool place. Really good scenery. So yeah, it's a great place to live.
Yeah, you're like the Convention and Visitors Bureau president here, right?
Yeah.
Coy just says go. You know, you go to Esco, man. You'll find something. Is there a Dairy Queen in Esco?
No, there's nothing.
No, nothing. Are you near a lake? Can you go fishing there?
Yeah, you go Lake Superior, man.
It's right there. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Coy, take us through. We're going to go back a couple weeks. You had the big pick six, huge play, helps win the Purdue game. Talk us through that play and how exciting it was.
Oh yeah, that was super exciting. Good play for our defense. Ultimately, it was pretty much a defensive pick because he only threw it because of the shell we had pre-snap, and you can't do that with everybody working together. And ultimately, he just threw it to me. I just got to go make the play.
You went up and got it. Was that you were hoping to deke him into thinking you were blitzing?
Yeah, that's ultimately what I thought in the end. Pre-snap, I was blitzing earlier in the game, so just try to make it look exactly like that. Obviously, we got our strong safety showing in the post too, so he thought it was that. Thought I was coming, and he didn't see me.
Yeah, and you had to go up and get it, and you made the play. As you're going down the sidelines, you're thinking score all the way?
Yeah, score all the way. I actually ran faster there than I did chasing that guy down last week.
Yeah, that was another play that I was going to ask you. That because you think about that was a monster play when it all said and done.
Yeah, only 20 miles an hour.
Is that what the GPS deal? I forget what that's called.
It's called a catapult. That's what we have in the back of our shoulder pads.
So what'd you hit? 20?
It was like 20.6.
What's the fastest you've hit in practice or in a game? Is that it?
No, I hit 21.6.
Wow. There are streets in Esco, you'd get a speeding ticket for running that fast.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well, guys, let's give our players a big round of applause here. That was awesome, as always. We appreciate it. Coy Parrish and Drake Lindsay, we had some fun with those guys today. Quick reminder, no football this week. Women's hoops tonight. There's hockey this weekend. There's men's basketball Saturday. And next week, it's a studio taping here, noon to 1 on Monday. The show will air on Tuesday. That has been Gopher Football Weekly with PJ Fleck from Learfield.